A very good morning, class. In the last video, we talked about the demerits of indirect taxes. Today, we shall talk about the merits or advantages of the indirect taxes. Okay, merits and advantages of direct taxes. The first point it says that it is convenient. Indirect tax is said to be convenient from the customer point of view. Okay, means customers can pay without keeping it for a prolonged period, without keeping it for a longer period. They can pay it as and when they purchase the goods, because the price, in the price itself, the tax part is added. Whenever you purchase something, you get a final quotation amount that is written as MRP. MRP stands for maximum retail price. So maximum retail price for a product is, for let's say for example, is rupees 10. Rupees 10. And just below to that there is a line added that is inclusive of all taxes. Inclusive of all taxes. That means in rupees 10 itself, your tax part is added in it. That is why it is most convenient mode of payment. When you purchase the goods, at the same time you make a payment for the good, tax itself. Okay. Second is wide coverage. Wide coverage. Indirect tax, since every product that you consume, every product that you use, every good that you use has a tax part hidden in it. No matter whether you consume a luxurious goods, whether you consume normal goods, whether you consume unnecessary goods, in every good the taxation amount is hidden in it. Okay, so that is why it involves a wide coverage. The moment you consume a product, the moment you use a product, you are paying a tax. So government does not differentiate between the goods, government does not differentiate between the taxes by keeping something away from the tax part and adding something extra to the some parts. No, there is an equal distinction that every product, every good will have a tax part in it. Okay, that is why there is a wide coverage. Third is equity. Equity. Equity is basically used for decreasing the gap between the rich and the poor. Whenever a government feels that the gap between the richer class and the poor class is increasing, it can enhance the taxation rate on the luxurious goods which are used by the richer class. As a result, it will mitigate the gap between the rich and the poor. Fourth is elastic. Indirect taxes can be made elastic. Elastic means flexible, as the number of goods that the consumer consumes, upon that tax rate increases. Okay, suppose there are two types of person in a society. One is type A, another is type B. Type B is associated with, let's say, luxurious goods, LG. LG includes luxurious goods, and type B is necessary goods. Okay, type B is necessary goods. Now, type A person stop the consumption of luxurious goods and shifts to type B. He shifts to type B. What will happen? The demand for luxurious goods will go down and the demand for the necessary goods will go up. So in that case, what the government can do, government can increase the tax rate of necessary goods level, so that the additional people who have come, who have become a burden for the economy, can be a part of the taxation system. So that is why it says elastic, it is flexible for the government. Government can put any sort of tax rate according to the condition, according to the scenario. Fifth is no evasion. No evasion, like the case of direct tax. Direct tax had a possibility of evasion, that there were chances that people could shift to other goods or people could avoid paying taxes for some times. But in case of indirect taxes, the people or the consumer or the taxpayer do not have an option of evading. They cannot postpone this, they cannot shift this, they cannot avoid this. Okay, the moment they consume the product, the moment they use the good, they are a part of the taxpayer. Okay, it can only be avoided when you don't use the product. If you don't use, you don't have to pay the taxes. But the moment you use the good, you will have to pay the taxes. You are a part of the taxation system. So no evasion is possible in indirect goods or indirect tax. Seventh is check on consumption of harmful commodities. Seventh point is 60. Check on consumption of harmful commodities. Whenever government feels that if people are shifting towards consumption of harmful commodities, it can increase the rates of tax. Harmful commodities like wine, opium, cigarette, if these things are consumed, if these things are demanded more, the government has a stake, the government has a right to increase the rates of taxes. When the rates of taxes increase, the price will also increase, and that will shift the consumer from consumption of these goods. So that is a way to stop the consumer to consume more such goods. Okay, that is why in the liquor part, in the wine part, in the opium part, you see the rates of taxes are very high. And last is, seventh is protection against foreign companies. Foreign companies or foreign commodities, both are same only. Okay, this is just to, the last step talks about the protection of the domestic manufacturer. The protection of the domestic manufacturer. Those who are in India, if they are producing a product, their market should not be disturbed by the foreign companies. Okay, so the government takes this step just to protect the Indian market. Try to understand this. For example, if good A, this is good A is produced in both the country, let's say India and America. Okay, both the countries manufactures this good A, and this good A is demanded at both the places. Okay, now in India, if the rate of good A is rupees, let's say 500. In 500, you get good A in India. Okay, and when the same thing comes from the foreign country, from UK, you can say, it comes to around 485 or 400. From UK, it comes at a price rupees 400. So, as a consumer, if you demand the same product A, which one you will demand? At rupees 400, the UK product, or at rupees 500, that is the product of India. So as a general consumer, we'll try to shift, we'll try to go for rupees 400. The reason is, the first reason is that the price is low, what is manufactured in India. Second is that we have a faith that the foreign companies, is a developed companies or their developed country, whatever they manufacture, whatever they produce, it would be a good of high reliability or something that you can trust on. Okay, so keeping that faith in mind, we will try to go for rupees 400, which is sent by the UK government or the UK economy. Okay, now if everyone follows the same track, what will happen with our good? Our good will not be sold. So just to protect the Indian market, Indian sellers, the government raises the rates of taxes. That is, import tax is raised so that the product which comes from the foreign companies becomes costlier when they come to India. Okay, that is what says protection against foreign companies or foreign commodities. Whatever they say, whatever they send over here, and it becomes costlier so that less of it is demanded in India and more of the product of the Indian market is demanded by the Indian sellers or the Indian consumers. So that is a step to protect the Indian market and to regulate the market in a proper way. So class, this was the advantages of indirect taxes. In the next class, we shall talk about the indirect taxes. Thank you, class. And one more reminder, today in the evening you have a test of Central Bank. Okay, today evening you have a test of Central Bank. So kindly appear for that. Thank you.